yeah, I had my career as a dancer and as an actor, and at the same time, it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it would be because I was just a body, kind of just a shell. And that's how I came into acting. I was like, I want to use my voice more. I want to tell my story. And if I'm an actor, then people start to think, it starts to matter what's going on in my brain. And it still didn't matter. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to school. And I did research at Middlesex University, feminist film theory. And I started to write more, produce more. And that's how I really started to people notice me.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of Film and Business Podcast. I'm Rosa Camero, film producer and CEO and founder of Ramiro AI, the first film marketing and distribution assistant powered by AI. In this podcast, I help filmmakers bridge the gap between creativity and business, giving you the tools, strategies, and inspiration you need to make your film thrive. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to Liza Van Der Smissen, actress, producer, and co-founder of Female Film Club. Lisa began her career in the film industry as an actress and later founded the Female Film Club during the pandemic. Like we don't say that word anymore, but it was there. And alongside her co-founder, Nicole Lieberman, in just a few years, the Film and Film Club has become a transformative global members club for female filmmakers featured multiple times in Variety. Beyond building this community, Lisa is also active in the industry as a producer and assistant director, and she hosts panels and Q&A sessions with some of the most prominent women in the film today. In this episode, we'll talk about her journey, the power of building community, and how the Female Film Club is creating a global movement that amplifies women's voices and helps filmmakers thrive in every stage of their careers. So, Lisa, welcome. I'm so happy to have you
Thank you
here.
so much for having me. I love it.
So, we're going to go back to that Lisa of the early beginning of her career. So you are a dancer and an actress. So tell me what make you. How do you end up being a dancer and actress?
Well, if we're going on that route, we have to go way, way back to the story that to the point where I don't even have many memories from, but where my mother told me that I was around 3, 4 years old, and I just came up to my mom with a form that said, "Can you please sign here and here and here, and then I can do dance classes?" And she was like, one, where did you get the form? And two, I guess, fine. And that was how I got my first dance class. Fast forward, I was obsessed with dancing. I didn't do anything else. I did it 24/7. I skipped holidays because I didn't want to get injured or miss any performances or trainings. What would you like to do for your birthday? I just wanted to go to a dance class. Like that was my whole life. So then when I got accepted into one of the best dance academies in London, of course I had to go. I came to London, studied dance, musical theatre, of course. Acting came in my path. And yeah, I think for me, it was a way, like, we have to think back. We didn't have any phones back then. And it was my way to spend so much free time to express the things that I couldn't express, really.
That's so nice. I'm just noticing that you have a Frida Kahlo as the
Yes, it
background.
it comes from her house. I picked it up at her house in Mexico. That's where I bought it.
Really? That's
Yes.
so nice. We are a big fan of
Yeah.
Frida Kahlo in this house. You imagine
Hmm.
why.
As you should. Yeah. No, I went to I've got a Mexican cousin and then they got married. So we went to Mexico with my grandmother. I said there's one thing I want to visit. It's the blue house from Frida Kahlo. And then my grandmother guarded this poster with her life on the airplane all the way back from Mexico. So it's very precious to me.
Oh, that's so nice. And it comes from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to this career. So this dancer who wanted to like did you want it to be like a professional dancer? Are you a professional dancer? Like, have you done any professional dancing? Tell us more about it.
Yeah, the goal was to dance all my life. At the same time, I've never lived more in the moment than in those years. I think now I live a lot more in the future and thinking about strategies and 5-year plans, 10 years plans. But at that moment, all I knew is I need to dance right now, all day, every day. And yeah, as soon as I graduated, I worked as a professional dancer. I worked in productions all over the world. I went on, like I performed at different stages all over Europe. I was actually in a few big Bollywood films. So I went to India, I filmed there. I went to Spain, of course, back to the Netherlands, Amsterdam, Berlin. Yeah, I had my career as a dancer and as an actor. And at the same time, it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it would be because I was just a body, kind of just a shell. And that's how I came into acting. I was like, I want to use my voice more. I want to tell my story. And if I'm an actor, then people start to think, it starts to matter what's going on in my brain. And it still didn't matter. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to school. And I did research at Middlesex University, feminist film theory. And I started to write more, produce more. And that's how I really started to, people notice me more and me being able to express what's going on inside my mind rather than just being the shell of looking good and performing. Because to me, the point of dancing was always telling a story. I was choreographing a lot. I was explaining something. But when you're in a professional field as a dancer, I didn't found any match with that.
It's funny because my next question was going to be, how did you end up in the film industry? And you actually answer it. So it's like one thing brought you to the other, and then suddenly here you are in the film industry. So tell me more about it. Like, how did you, what was your first gig? How did you started producing,
Hmm.
acting, doing all these things?
Well, the very first thing was really organically, it was a dance film, and they needed a dancer for the film. So I was a dancer. I was like, I can be in a film. And I was like, oh, I kind of like this filming. This is really cool. So then I did a few more dance films, and from there, I started to make a lot more connections in the film industry. I started to see my creative career more as a business, and I started to delve more into the business side of things, of having a brand, of building a business, of making it sustainable. And then, yeah, I somehow I had a side job as being event management in London. You know, when you have those big Leicester Square premieres, I was managing them. So I had one of those radios and I was organizing the chefs and the talent and the waiters and everything. And then I was like, this is actually really similar as being a first AD on a set. And there's so many similarities. So I was going to the London Film Festival, never worked as a first AD in my life. And I said to everyone, I'm the best first AD you'll ever met. And you should hire me and work with me. And I will make sure that everything will run on time and you'll get your stuff made. And people start to hire me. And I actually delivered on those promises. And I think it was really nice because sometimes we undersell each other. And I've done that so many times in my life that I definitely undersold myself. But every now and then, when you challenge yourself to a higher standard, you start to live up to that standard because you have to. Like there's no other choice but being the absolute very best because you said you would. So you do everything you can. And then I started to deliver. And then, yeah, people start to recommend me. And that's kind of how the ball got rolling.
So, and now you have your own business. So you
Yes.
have, there's a female film club.
Yes.
Yes. And how did you start it? You have a business partner. So how that idea came up, and tell us more about it because I think it's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing what you're doing.
Yeah, the Female Film Club came up. So I worked with Nicole before on a short film. We made a very cute, like feminist angle with 80% female crew short film. We knew we would work together. We knew we are both creatives that can think outside the box and make things work kind of no matter what, because we don't come from a traditional film school or film academy or business school or whatever. We're just like, what's the problem? How are we going to solve it? Not following any of the construct of rules. So we had that in common. And then I was supposed to produce a UK Finnish feature, and it was going to be filmed in Finland. Of course, the pandemic happened. I couldn't travel. I had to pause over the feature. I was heartbroken. I had no idea if I would ever do anything in film again, what would happen with the industry. And I was like, well, instead of just waiting for, I don't know how many years or decades this is going to happen, let's study, let's learn, let's group together. So we got a few of our favorite women that we knew from all over the world together online, and we started studying female directors, like a book club. It was a film club. Every Thursday, we would come online and we would just discuss a film, and we'd have really good questions, and we would have a great newsletter. And then that started to build and grow, and so many people joined us. And we started to see that there was so much more of a need of connection and empowering more from a mindset level, and then of a skill level in terms of learning how to sell, learning how to pitch, how to negotiate, how to network. Yeah, that's kind of how it started to grow. And now we have our own app. We have thousands of members from over 65 different nationalities. We've built every single thing under the umbrella of either it's focused on networking, on building your skills, on getting a stronger mindset, and on technology. That one is new because we used to ignore it because it was fine. And now, like AI and technology is here and we cannot ignore it any longer. And I think, yeah, we need to be prepared for it. And I think because women are traditionally a bit behind when it comes to technology, the gap is only growing if we start to ignore it. So absolutely fine if you want to be a part of it or not, but make it a conscious choice and don't do it because you don't understand it. So that's kind of a really big part of what we're doing now at the Female Film Club.
It's interesting what you're saying about technology because with Ramiro AI, the tool that I have, I have early adopters at the moment because it was launched a few months ago. And actually it's been women who are the ones who are like, yeah, the pioneers, like the ones signing up for the whole year, like having yearly subscription, asking around and like using AI to like I have literally a client that she is doing like she's doing like writing partnership with the tool and then it's like brainstorming and this idea. So it's interesting that you said that sometimes women we kind of like take back in these new tools, but with this tool in particular is women are the ones who are taking the lead. So I don't know if it's something to
I,
do
lo-
with me that I'm a woman and they're like following me and maybe they're like, okay, I'll join and see what is this about.
I think it's really like a credit to you on how you position and market your product, because the fact that women feel open and curious and accessible, that's really what we need, because most of these AI tools, they're marketed for a certain audience and then there's no resonance with the women that I know at least. So credit to you. I love that.
Yes. So tell me more about you were in Cannes this
Yes.
year. It was a huge thing for you because you were celebrating some things and some milestones there, and then you got featured in Variety. So tell me more about it. What do you do? What was accomplished there?
Yes, so every year we go with the Female Film Club to Cannes, and it is first of all to bring our members together. And we know how scary it can be to go to Cannes and not know anyone. But of course, once you're in the Female Film Club, our members meet up, they hire apartments together, they go to screenings together, they educate themselves, they sneak each other into each other's parties. So that's really like a core thing from the Female Film Club to be there. Now, over the past 2 years, we had a collaboration with Forbes, and we hosted a fantastic party in their villa where we made some announcements. We got our partners there, we got some of our collaborators there. This year, we gave out a £8,000 documentary film fund, which was focused on technology and art and bridging the gap between that. And we also announced a 10,000 euros short film global fund, which has just closed and is now with the juries to decide, for which we will announce the winner at this year's London BFI Film Festival in October. So very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I saw about the fund and I mean, if you can explain us how you businesses and associations, because not only you as a as a female film club, but like there are other associations that also have these funds. How does these funds work? So you are the intermediary, you have someone who gives the money to, or is it you giving the money? Like how does this work? So people out there know is like this is like money that comes from whatever source and it's going to you as a like filmmaker. So you need to get the advantage of that.
Yeah, I think it's the same as with making a film. There's no one way to finance a film. There's not one way to finance a film fund. And I think there's many different ways. We had a dream and we have an even bigger goal to have a lot more film funds because if you want to give power to female filmmakers, one of the big ways is, of course, give them money so they have the resources to make the films so their voices can be heard. So that's really one of the pillars that we're hoping to do. And therefore we started last year, October, with the very first film fund. So 1 year later, we're on our third one. So it's going well so far. The first one was in collaboration with another film fund, and we partnered with them. The second film fund was because there was a pot of money that was given to a certain type of film. It had to do with technology and blockchain. And of course, the whole Bitcoin rate went down, that value pot became a lot less, and they couldn't make a film out of it, but they still wanted to give that money to a filmmaker that could really benefit from it with the same focus of being it art and technology. And this one is our money. We are giving it. The Female Film Club is giving it, and we have some wonderful partners who are supporting it. But in essence, we are giving it back to our community because it's it's so essential. You can say you support people, but it starts really with the resources. And without having a strong mindset, you're still not going to be able to even use support. Without having the skills, you're not going to be able to, without having the network, without having the technology. But even if you have all of that, a key part will always be funding. And the other things are easier to get the funding for sure. But I think we need to put our money where our mouth is. So that's what we're doing.
That's amazing. I could see how your eyes just brighten up when you say it's our money. Like actually we are the ones putting that money into and believing in your community, believing in the people who is actually like joining and being part of it. That's so inspiring. I mean, that's really something. So how do you make sure that this money gets to the right filmmaker? Is only one? Is it only to one filmmaker? Is it like to several filmmakers? How does it work?
Yeah, for now it's one. We have an incredible jury, like from all over the world, all walks of life. Um, and there's some criteria for this jury, but because they have made multiple feature films, they know the challenges that work with working with filmmakers, getting a film made. We really trust their judgment to choose the right project. And I'm really conscious and happy and grateful that I'm not going to be the one choosing because I know all the incredible people that have submitted and everyone deserves it. Unfortunately, at this point, it's 10,000 for one person. um, so yeah, the judges will decide. The judges will decide based on criteria, based on the budget, on the script, on the filmmaker, and also their personal experience. We chose these judges for a reason, and we really want them to look at it with their eyes.
That's really cool. I mean, that's really like that one person that's gonna win the 10,000. like use it well. If you're watching this podcast, use it well because it's like hard-earned money. So tell me, besides having this community, film female club, do you have any other projects? Do you have any other like side gigs that you are juggling as a creative? Like normally we have like several.
Yeah, I started, of course, in the Female Film Club. We do a lot of mindset work. So over the years, I've also trained myself as an NLP practitioner, as an EFT tapping practitioner. And
You do?
I've, yeah, I
I love
love it. I know
it.
you're into it as well. I know. We do it a lot with the Female Film Club, to reset the nerve system, to break through patterns. It's incredibly effective. And of course, it doesn't even take that much time. So it's like epic. I love it. Um, and of course, I've been coaching these creatives for 6 years now. I've seen the results they've created throughout my coaching. So last year, I started coaching creatives, entrepreneurs, some art teachers, even a software engineer, people who are on a creative journey or want to start their business and can use some help with detangling everything that's in their mind. Creatives always have so many ideas, and there's such a thing of walking after the next shiny thing all the time, switching from thing to thing, feeling stuck, not knowing where to get out, being in the same loop of patterns. So I have a small group of coaches that I love coaching. I love working one-on-one. And since the Female Film Club has grown so much, it's been really hard to work within that, yeah, community one-on-one. So I take a few handful of clients one-to-one on because I just really, really enjoy it.
Oh, that's so nice. I also coach. Like I coach, but like a very specific, like creative women with businesses. They want to grow their business, and I'm also like good at it. I like it, and I have like one space, like one spot, like once in a while that I open because
Mhm,
like films is my life. I love films, and I love making films, and I love working with films. But the people sometimes in the industry, like making those films, it's like, no, we need more kind people. We need more like these kind of people
mhm.
who are prepared, who have like a better mindset. I'm not judging, but I'm judging. So,
It's really tough. And I think also the film industry sometimes brings the worst out of people. Like I know myself on the first day of a film set, I am my highest self. I'm rested, I'm well fed, I'm hydrated. While you see me 30 days later after 14-hour days and night shoots, I am a different person, no matter how much EFT tapping I do, no matter how many boundaries I set. Like the film industry is a really difficult industry, I think, specifically to take care of yourself and show up as your highest self. And I think therefore it's really important that we kind of protect and set the tone of this is how we want to deal with each other. This is the industry that we want to create, and we want to do it in this way because it gets very easily a slippery slope. And if one person behaves in a way and that sets the norm, then everybody kind of goes there because there's no resistance. Everyone is tired. Everyone is like exhausted. So I think, yeah, the more we really step up as leaders and set the tone, the more people are like, oh, there is a different way.
I think also you learn it because I remember when I started working in the film industry, I was young. I wanted to take the world, and then I started seeing like different behaviors that they weren't like exactly right, or they weren't exactly like the way I wanted to behave, but it's like, okay, they're behaving like that. So maybe that means that I need to do it that way. Also, walking into rooms with only men, and like, yeah, so it's like they behave in a different way, they negotiate in a different way. So it's like I need to learn from them because that's the way you do things. And then later in life, and especially when I started my business, is like, I don't want to do business like that. Then it took me a few years to figure out that. Like it took me a few years because in the beginning, when I started my business, I wanted to, like I said, okay, that's the way they do things. That's the way I need to do it too. And then it took me like a 2 3 years to figure out like I don't want to be like that. Like I don't want to behave like that. I don't want to do business like that. Uh, that's a decision that I.
Absolutely. I think that's the power of mentors as well. Because you have to figure it all out by yourself. Probably you've done it, me've done it. And that's why we hope to give some mentors to some of our members where they come and they meet the filmmakers. They meet the people who won the awards at Venice and at Cannes and have distribution deals with Warner Brothers and whatever. So they can actually ask the questions and see how do you want to operate within a set and see that they can be different. Because if you just look in your immediate surroundings, oh la la.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me, what is the role that the mindset takes into this community?
Yeah, I love that question. And it's huge. In the beginning, it was 20, 25%. And then, you have a business, right? You need to track the data. You can't just throw any event on that you want to do just because it's fun. That's what we did in the beginning. And certain events, they just didn't move the needle for our members. They were fun, but they didn't get them further in their career, in their life. They didn't have long-term benefits. So what we did was we doubled down and we kind of tracked the data of what are the events that really make a difference in the lives of our members in different ways. And most of it was the mindset events. People come kind of to meet a producer or learn how to pitch or make their first feature film, and they really stay for the mindset. Because these mindset events, that's the thing that makes them stay in the game. That's the thing that make them be more resilient, to come have a place to come back to after they had a massive knockdown or rejection. It's the way where they come to really celebrate a win because nobody else understands how big that email is from that agent. Even though they rejected you, it's still a massive ring. It's still a massive win. You need to have these people. And that really comes with mindset. Like in our community, we have every single month a different focus on a different mindset. So in September, of course, it was defining your success because we don't want our members to chase somebody else's version of success. And then they've achieved it. And they're like, I'm not happy. This is not my version of success. So this is getting really crystal clear. What is your version of success? And why is this for you? Don't chase anyone else's. Then next month, it's about self-talk. The other month, it's about boundaries, about gratitude, about showing up as your best self, about feeling behind and the ageism, all of those kind of mindset blocks that we have, procrastination, self-sabotage. It's essential and it all starts, it's basically the foundation. Because if people say, oh, I don't do the work, or oh, I got nervous at my pitch and I messed it up, or it's all mindset. And therefore, practically for our members in the members club, in the Female Film Club, 50% of the work that we do is pure mindset work, specifically tailored to filmmakers.
I love it. I don't think you find this kind of communities in the film industry. I mean, it's very difficult. I do this kind of work, and I've been working a lot with coaches and like coaching programs, and but it's not the same. So it's like when I found you and then I knew about this, it's like then also taking the decision to actually do it. It's like I have to say, like I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, and then I haven't been able to join or whatever. So it's like taking the decision. I'm starting. I'm doing it. I'm. I need to figure it out how to make this. How to make this happen. So tell me, because you are like in the middle of women in film. Like you're working with female filmmakers, so, what do you think are the biggest challenges women still face in the film industry today?
I think there's a few different challenges, and I'm not sure exactly which one is the biggest because for different age groups, for different personality types, for different countries, there's different ones. So I think a big one is obviously funding, which we're trying to tackle with our multiple film funds. Money speaks, money gives so much power. I think definitely another one, it is the mindset, I must say, because often, and we've had research shown and published in the Female Film Club, is the reason why a film fund that is open to all genders goes 80% of the time to men is because 80% of the people applying are men.
That's true.
So what is holding them back to actually go for these opportunities?
Yeah, you said that. And when I used to live in Madrid, we had like a film festival. So we have film festival. We did like like a women film festival and like screenings and things, and it was very difficult to find feature films or even short films. Like they didn't apply. That's true. I mean, women don't apply, and I don't know exactly why. I don't know if it's yeah, probably it's a mindset. I don't know, but it is true. Like these funds and these like even for film festivals and all these things, it's more men than women.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is, of course, a way of like, oh, the system is built against you. Yes. And then what are you going to do about it? Like, I'm not saying there's no equality. I'm not saying there is absolute equality in the film industry. There isn't. There's sexism, there's racism, there's ageism. It's all very true. And what can we do in the position that we are in to give us the best chance in succeeding? And that is applying for the right things that are right for you. So that's what we help a lot of our members with that mindset. Also, having that, how do I say this? This kind of support to bounce back from, because it's really tough to get knocked down and rejected and say, okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. This time I actually have hope. This time I believe in myself. Like it's so tough. And especially if you do it alone, it's not sustainable. So I think having that support system that knows exactly what it is, that is not based on competition or accomplishment, where there's no shame or guilt or I should have done this better or you don't work hard enough. And just looking very practically, what's the next best step that I can do? And how can I keep focused on my priority and not just the next best easy thing? Um, is another really big thing that could help female filmmakers. I think the last thing is having these soft skills as negotiating, as presenting, selling is very underrated. If people talk about skill and what you learn at a film academy, it's about how to direct, how to act, how to, like the physical skill, which of course is important. But how are you going to get those jobs? It's through networking. It's through making people believe in you. Now, that's a soft skill that cannot be underrated. And that's also why we're training a lot of our members monthly to have those skills.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I repeat every time, that these soft skills, the business side, you're already good you're amazing at making films. You already have everything. You have the crew, you have the creativity, the story, everything is there. But it's like the selling, the marketing, the negotiation,
Mm-hmm.
it's just reading a simple contract. It just that can be very
Yeah.
difficult. It's like I prefer not to read it, or just like I don't know if I'm gonna get another deal, so I'm just gonna sign it.
Yeah.
They don't read it. So
Yeah.
so yes, I completely agree with that. Like having these soft skills, like the business side, even if you don't like it, I mean that's part of the deal.
You'll find a way to like it. Like make it playful. Make it, make spreadsheets that are, in my case, bright pink. Like do something that find the fun in it because yeah, it is boring. Yeah, you didn't come into this job to do this business side. However, do you want to do this for a long term? Let's go. Let's make it as fun as we can. Let's
Yeah,
do it together.
I completely agree. So, what changes would you like to see in the industry in the next 5 to 10 years?
I would love more money to flow more to independent productions because the gap is getting bigger and bigger. You're having these two, three, $400 million films, and you have these very tiny films made for like 50K. And that gap in between, let's say between 100K and 4 million films, is disappearing. And that's often a springboard for people to go into more studio films because it's very risky to make films in that realm, especially if they're more art house or less commercial. So I would hope that an industry would take on more like this. I'm talking stories from like A24, like things that are different, not a, I don't know, Tarzan number 500 sequel. I think that would be really meaningful because I think that's a space where a lot of women and indie filmmakers can step into and tell their stories. And there's 100% an audience for if they're marketed correctly. I would also love that women in general start seeing each other more as allies. and trusting
Mm,
each other and being able to be trusted. And I feel like certain
mm.
spaces bring a certain type out of you. That doesn't mean that you are that person, but the spaces or the situation bring out a side of you. And I noticed in the Female Film Club, we bring out the side of our members that is so loving, that is so compassionate, that is so caring, that is so beautiful and empowering and smart. And if I see these women in the Female Film Club, which is all online, and then we meet them in real life at one of our film festivals or live events, you have this powerhouse of women connecting with each other in a way that I've not seen in other spaces. And that's not because these women in the club are any different, but it's like the way they show up for themselves and for each other is so beautiful.
It's
And
a safe
I,
space. I mean, that's the thing in the film industry. There's not many safe space, so you need to have a
walls up.
barrier.
Yeah,
You need to protect yourself. You need
yeah,
to be, I don't know, the
yeah,
badass woman, because then they will take advantage of you.
yeah, yeah,
And that's sad. I mean, that
yeah,
shouldn't be the way. But again, it's like this is a way we learn how to make business, how
yeah,
to conduct uh, business. So like just finding these safe spaces where women can be themselves and not be the other person that they thought themselves to be. I think that's a win-win.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's also about checking yourself, like, oh, I don't need to compete with this other woman. I don't need to put this woman down. I don't need to, it's not just about you opening up and be your best self. It's if everyone checks themselves in these spaces, that would be so magical. And then if I can choose three, I would love to also to find a way in the film industry to support shorter working hours if I had a magic wand. So caregivers, mothers, people that just want to have a life outside the film industry can still live in the film industry without giving it 14 hours of their day, as I think that's where a lot of women are dropping out because it's just not sustainable the way the system is built. And I think that's a shame because I do truly believe, and I've worked on the call sheets and I worked as a producer and I know the budget restraints and I know the investor meetings. And I still think there must be a way to do this differently.
That's I understand. Like you want to go and you want to work in the film industry. You are working on set, and then having kids, it can be difficult. It can be. I also have been thinking about like how can you do like a sustainable business about films, like making films where women can actually make films while they are being moms as well. So it's like having a nursery there, like that means more money. Then that means also, I think also it comes to budgeting because
Hmm.
the way filmmakers work as well is like they cut down. Okay, they cut down the budget. It's like, oh, we can take this out. They can we take this, and then the film is more like it's cheaper, right? But then we need to budget in a way that suits the crew,
Hmm.
the crew that is working in the film. I don't know. I have also have
Yeah,
those ideas. Like, how can we do these films?
yeah,
How can we create these films that actually women can be full, like they can be themselves, like in their both professional and
yeah.
motherhood.
And men, like the fathers as well. I'm sure they also want to do bedtime stories. Like I'm an advisor on some production companies that are actively looking for solutions, such as Orca Lab, which is doing incredible work. And there's definitely a shift of exploration, but there's always going to be a part of squeezing profit margins because otherwise you're just not going to get the money to make your film because the investor is not going to come back because they didn't get their return, which is completely understandable.
Yeah, so it's like that's the balance. How can we balance it better so we can find a better way to work and then also making it sustainable? I mean, this should be a way for the filmmakings and films to make more money, like finding ways of better business models.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see the female film club going in the future?
So in the future, I think we'll be building, I think our cohort is gonna grow. At the moment, we have 50 spaces opening up 3 times a year for new filmmakers to come in and work with us closely. So then you get all our events around mindset, skill, network, and technology, which is open currently. It will close in October, November for a few months until we have space again and we open it up so we can really nurture
So you have
those people.
cohorts. So how
We
many
have cohorts,
how many cohorts a year you have?
3 cohorts a year. So the
Okay.
autumn cohort is open at the moment. We allow 15 new people coming into each cohort, not more. I do foresee in the future we will have built an ecosystem where we can support a lot more people coming into the cohorts. For now, after 50, we are closed. I also think we have a free networking space where we now have thousands of filmmakers. Everybody can come for free. Takes 5 minutes to make your profile. You get a lot of perks. You get a lot of energy from all our community. You get access to a lot of cool things. This will explode. Like if I think of the start of last year, we had around 300 members there. Now we have over 3,000 members there. It's growing really, really fast because people see the results they're getting from just being in that free space. And with that, there's power to the people, right? With that, the more momentum we build, the more people are signing up, the more noise we can make, the more attention we will get drawn into better partners, better collaborations that will in return fund more film funds, more whatever our members need, really. It's hard for me to look in the future. I have a vision. However, I've also learned in the past 6 years that you're always gonna need to listen to the members and go with the flow. And with technology and AI, I really believe it's gonna take a completely different turn very soon in the film industry, and that we need to be on top of that. So I think technology and AI will play a huge, huge role in the film industry, and I wouldn't be surprised if our pillars later will be mainly mindset and technology.
So tell us more about, okay, you have open right now for the next cohort. So you are
Yeah.
receiving applications. How can they apply? Does it has a cost? Like how much cost? Like how often do they need to, like what is the commitment? Because it's a commitment. It's not only they need to commit to what you're doing for the next 3 months. So tell us more about how the application works and yeah, what is the next steps if anyone here wants to get involved.
Yeah, so the cohort, it's a yearly subscription. So once you're in, you're in. At the moment, it is first come, first serve. So if you feel this is right for you, you can come in. What we have is we have different stages because we've learned that at different stages in your film career, you're going to need access to different resources. You're going to have different conversations. So stage one is for the filmmaker who's getting ready to make their first high quality short film. So maybe you already made a film on like a shoestring budget. Maybe you've never made a short film before. Maybe you work in tech, but you've always wanted to write a film or do something in film. Like stage one is perfect for you. We have a mini course on radio etiquette, how to make a call sheet, how to talk to getting your team together, what are the roles on set, all these things that I wish I knew when I made my first film. Those are all in the first one. Plus, you get a kind of breakdown of the best master classes over the past 6 years that you should watch to learn like things like film festival strategy. So you think about it before you make your film rather than afterwards, which will make your film way more successful. Then stage two is a place where you have made multiple very good short films and you want to get into feature films all the time, not just one feature film every 5 years. You're ready to really step into feature films and TV series regularly, but somehow you're kind of stuck in a loop, maybe making guerrilla films, maybe being in this similar kind of environment, not getting really into the feature film scene, and you feel stuck and like a barrier that you're not being taken serious, you're not going to that threshold. And for you, we have a specific female film club film festival in collaboration with the British Film Institute, where we will showcase our stage two films to the industry. We will get press for it. You can invite agents, you can invite talent, you can invite anyone that you want to impress, and we kind of give you a stage for that. Also for you, we will have specific master classes, and that will be more about distribution, about producing, about making a pitch deck for a specific type of audience of investors. So you're being taken serious by that next level. And then stage three is on invitation only and on application only. And stage three is the people that are consistently making feature films or making series that are constantly at film festivals in Cannes, in London. They've won BAFTAs, they've won awards. They're in that realm and they constantly get asked for help. You know, everybody wants to get their advice. And can you go for a coffee? And can you help me? But it gets really lonely at the top. So we have from every single kind of country those top filmmakers that you probably heard from if you're in the film industry. And we bring them together to have really in person and online masterminds really deeply about, again, our four pillars to really discuss and help each other further on a level that only they speak their language on.
That, I mean, that sounds like super complete program. What happened to the film professionals that not like I mean, there's professionals out there, they're not making films exactly, but they're working with films. Can they join?
Yeah, we have people who are working as a film festival programmer or a set designer or in distribution, in marketing. We have all people that are working around as well as crew members who come into it, especially for the mindset events, because they are going to be relevant whatever you do in film, and the technology, because they're going to still need to know what technology is relevant, how you can use it, what's going on, because otherwise they're going to be left behind.
I mean, with the when you say technology, what technology we're talking about?
It's very broad because we can have it from tools like yours to how to train your ChatGPT, you know, your AI language model, to there's this new tool, Imagen AI, which is a kind of movie maker, but then using AI also to do scheduling and budgeting and making it a lot easier for ADs and producers to make their breakdown and make their call sheets. When I talk about technology, I'm talking all of the technology that all different departments are using in film and that is at this moment being developed.
I think that's super important. It's like the film industry always try to, we're gonna do films in a very conservative way because this is the way we have done it like for the last 50 years, and then technology comes, technology catch up with them, and then it's like, what should we do? Like, what are we gonna do? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like completely ignore it. It stays. They don't know what to do with it when it like it's already there. It's already taken over the world in the end, because that happens with the internet. I was working in distribution when DCPs came, so that was digital projection. So 35 millimeters, they died like actually in a couple of years. And I remember one lab technician said, "That's not gonna last." It's like that's gonna be like 35 millimeters has always been the way, and that lab just go bankruptcy. So it's like you either go with the flow or you die.
Yeah, and I think there's always going to be a market for doing things the way they've done. Like there's still people playing like vinyl music, you know, absolutely fine, but it's not going to be the mainstream, exactly as you say. If you look and a good Google search can make you find out what technologies Netflix, Amazon is investing in right now in film, it will blow your mind and maybe scare you a little bit. And we really hope to prepare our members for that next era so they're not caught off guard and left on the side.
So what advice would you give the women in filmmaking who feel isolated or unsure of their path?
I would say definitely like find your tribe. And if it's not in your environment, find it online. Wherever you are in the world, Google, check if there's maybe a local film festival or a local film club. or a cinema, or join us online in the Female Film Club, or there's so many other organizations that will help you find your people. And there's no right or wrong way for whatever you choose. But if you try to do it alone, it's so much harder and you can get so much further faster and with a lot more joy if you find your people. At the same time, if you're somewhere with people that are not really your vibe or your tribe, don't stay with them. There's an abundance of people. You can find the people that are really get you at this stage where you are right now and grow with them. You don't always have to network upwards. You don't always have to think, oh, I can only discuss film or be around film people that have accomplished way more than me. Like the group that I was with when I started working in film, which is 10, 15 years ago, they're all doing incredible things now. Like you all know them from your Netflix series, and I was with them in acting class. They were next to me. We were all at the same level and we all rose together. So don't always think about networking up. Network to the side. Find your people. Find the people with similar values, work ethic, dreams, and stay with those people. I think the next one is work on your mindset, and that can mean whatever it means to you, but don't be so hard on yourself. Do not see guilt as a driver because it's not productive in any way.
So, anything else that you want to add before we finish our episode? Actually, by the way, I have to give this as a homework for the people who is watching this episode or listening to us, that actually go into Google and find out what the technologies Netflix, Amazon, Apple is investing for their films, so you know where you need to focus. So I think that's homework for the people who are watching this episode today.
I love that. I love that. Please do that. And then if you want to get in touch with us at Female Film Club on Instagram, I would love to hear what technologies you found as well. I'm doing all the technology sessions in the club and I'm obsessed with it. So maybe you found something that I don't know yet. Let me know. I just want to say thank you so much, Rose. I think it's so important to speak about the business side and how everything relates. And I don't think it's been spoken enough for. So thank you for doing this podcast. And I'm honored to have been here.
Yeah, thank you for coming and thank you for being here. I mean, it's a pleasure to have you. And it's so nice what you're doing inside Female Film Club, and also like with your vibe on the online and dancing. And please follow her because she is always like in dancing classes. You didn't talk about your dancing. You have a dancing class, do you?
Yeah, I posted over the summer because I had to prioritize. So it's paused for now. When I can, I will open my dance classes again as well. Yes.
Yeah, so but she has like a really great vibe dancing and all this. I don't know how many. So tell me, what from all the dance that you do, which kind of dance is your favorite?
So for me, I've been trained in ballet, contemporary, hip hop, jazz, tap, all of the above. And what I started to notice is it's actually all the same. If you know, like I did kickboxing also for 8 years. If you do a spinning, jumping side kick, it's basically a jazz move. It's all movement. You have a different accent or a different but it's if you know how to spin, you can spin in any way. So I find that really hard. I think the one that gives me the most joy is Cuban salsa because it's
Mm.
just so free and there's no rules and it goes together and it's pure joy, especially with live music in the summer. However, sometimes contemporary can be the most meaningful for me to express, like cracking my soul open.
That's so nice. Maybe you can include like a dance class inside the female film club.
Oh, I make them dance.
Like
I make them
a way
dance.
to release all the
Yes,
frustrations and
yes.
rejection.
No, we dance in the female film club for sure. If you come to a session with me, you know there's going to be movement. Yes.
So thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I mean, yes, it is amazing to having you here to learn more about what you do, and see you next time.
See you next time. Thank you.